Hello everyone, today I'm in Harlem in New York City, and I'm about one block from Martin Luther King Boulevard, and across the street this is just one of the many housing projects in Harlem. Those would be the St. Nicholas houses, and just this one complex here has about 1,500 apartments. And looking towards the south, about 3 miles to the south would be Central Park and Billionaires Row. And this area is a little bit interesting. There's some new development going on as well. The building right in the center there is going to be a new Marriott and also new apartments as well. And just a lot of people on motorcycles here just driving around. Anyhow, and just some background information about Harlem. Following the Civil War, Harlem became a popular destination for blacks moving to New York City, and during the 1860s the black population reached about 10%. And then following World War I, that led to an increase of industrialization, and the black population increased as well, reaching approximately 70%, which it has roughly maintained today. And there's a 1990 study that said of teenagers in Harlem, a 15-year-old girl had a 65% chance of surviving to the age of 65, which was about the same as women in Pakistan. And for a 15-year-old man, the chance of surviving to the age of 65 was about 37%. However, they say since that report, crime is down approximately 70% in Harlem, so things have gotten better here. And today I'm just going to take a quick tour of Martin Luther King Boulevard and check out a few of the historic buildings, such as the Apollo Theater, and I'll point out as many of the buildings as I can along the way. This first building off to the left is a state building. It's the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. State Office. And directly in front, these are the Citibank bikes that they have throughout New York City and even in Harlem. And you can rent one of these bikes for about $15 a day. And we're now approaching 125th Street, which is also known as Martin Luther King Drive, and just gonna make a right here. And in front of the state building, looks like they have a public square area, just people sitting, and they also have a few street vendors. And I'm now walking on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And there's various stores here across the street. There's a Payless store and a Champs Sports. And off to the right, here's a T-Mobile telephone store. And though we're just 3 miles away from Central Park, it feels much different than the Central Park area of New York City, just besides having people going down the street doing wheelies on motorcycles. And to the right, this is going to be the new hotel that we're doing construction on, the glass building that we saw earlier. And up ahead is the Apollo Theater. And this theater was built in 1914 and it seats about 1,500 people.
You would think that those kids don't really have like.
And it looks like the Apollo Theater is closed, probably due to the coronavirus. And it looks like most of the street vendors are packing up and leaving. Probably a pretty good idea. I'm not too sure if this is such a great place to walk around at night. I guess it kind of depends on what your safety level is. And I'm now approaching Frederick Douglass Boulevard. And there's a few more public housing projects up the street. At the very back there, those would be the Grant houses. And they're quite a bit bigger than the project we saw earlier. Those have about 4,500 apartments in them. And just crossed Frederick Douglass Boulevard, still walking on Martin Luther King. Some more shopping. Here's a party store off to the right. And next door looks to be a clothing store. And across the street there's an Old Navy. And there's also a Chuck E. Cheese's across the street, followed by a CVS pharmacy. And it looks like off to the right, this is a vacant store that's boarded up. Here's some more kids on motorcycles. It doesn't look like those motorcycles have any license plates on them either. Not that they care. And now on the corner of Martin Luther King and St. Nicholas. There they go again, pulling wheelies in the street. And a few other restaurants and McDonald's across the street, and a pizza shop to the right. And it looks like another closed store. This looks like it was a health clinic. I'm not sure if there's really anywhere else where you can do that. Drive up and down the street on a motorcycle with no license plates and not get pulled off that thing. Anyhow, some more closed stores. This was a Little Caesars pizza shop. And here's a hair salon. And we're now across the street from the giant grant projects, the 4,500 apartment buildings.
Can I ask for a little help, please?
And to the right is a Domino's Pizza. And directly ahead are the grant projects. That must go on for at least 2 to 3 blocks, all those brick buildings. And to the right looks like a grocery store. It looks like it's pretty much just more of the same as I continue up, just housing project after housing project, and that will conclude my tour of Harlem. Thank you.